Hi everyone, welcome to Just Between You and Me. I'm Michael.
And I'm Michelle. And today we're actually going to talk about the combination of masculine and feminine and how we see that and how we define that. Michael has been so excited about this topic.
Finally.
We've been talking about how we define masculine and feminine in the last two videos. And so now we're going to talk a little bit about how we see them harmonizing.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't see them as two ends of a spectrum. We see them as so much more than
Yes,
that.
absolutely. Kind of like if you know in the studies of electromagnetism, one may study electricity and then magnetism. But actually the two exist together in our physical world. And much in the same way, we experience masculine energies and feminine energies existing together in our physical world. And choice is to define them this way, knowing that other people may see what we define as masculine and feminine differently.
Yeah.
That's okay.
So when we talk about masculine and feminine, we're not talking about like opposites or like flips of a coin or something.
Sure.
Like femininity is, in our experience, the softness, the creativity, the flow, the energy all around, and masculine as very directed, very focused, very intentional. And in order to create things in the world, both are required.
Exactly.
And they're not two sides of a coin. Like, it's not just, masculine straightforward and feminine is bleh.
They're like all the alignments needed for a holistic creation.
Yeah.
Manifestation.
Yeah, and so while the feminine energy is the birth space, the masculine energy is the activator. And it's the focuser and the direction.
Yeah.
So
I want to offer a metaphor for this. So if you can see a masculine energetic having a vision that's like a 2D page in a coloring book, and then a feminine energy as nourishment from the womb space that puts color onto that page and brings that page to life and manifests that page, and then if that page became like a 3D manifestation of the 2D drawing, that would be the idea of like the masculine is the page and the black and white drawing, and the feminine is the color that comes in this metaphor.
In this metaphor, yeah. And how we define it again. This
Totally.
is our definition.
Totally.
And again, we're not talking about gender expressions. We're talking, or presentation, or physical presentation. We're talking about energies behind that.
Yeah.
So I love this taking these concepts and talking about a couch. Because, I don't know anybody who genderizes their couch. Maybe you do. But I don't experience anyone who does. So if that's you, awesome. More power to you. But I experience a couch as having both masculine and feminine qualities. For me, the softness of the couch, the cushions, the squishiness, the oh my gosh, this is the best place to sleep ever experience, for me, is a feminine aspect of the couch.
Yeah.
And the sturdiness, the structure, the fact that it's not going to fall apart when I flop down on it is the masculine. It's holding, it's stable, it's holding up all of that soft cushiness that I want to jump into.
I love that metaphor. It's quite beautiful. Yeah.
Another way to look at this is the masculine is the arrow and the feminine is the bow. In order to hit the target, you need both.
Yeah.
Like you can probably hit the target by throwing the arrow with your hand, and odds are pretty good that you won't hit it as far or as accurate unless you use a bow.
Yeah. And bow and arrows came after spears because they were better. I don't know if that's true. I just said that, so it fit. It really fit.
making things up since 1991.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, I think that's a really powerful metaphor, and our previous videos on masculine and feminine, pretty much everything just adds in more of how those connect.
Yeah. And where the harmony really is created, and how beauty is created within the harmonization of of both.
So I want to ask you, how do you experience
Excuse me.
How do you experience masculine and feminine harmonizing in our connection?
So in our connection, I see it as I think we've each done this for each other, as in I have an idea and it's not wanting to come completely out. And so then you'll help by creating a structure and talk about questions and talk about ideas and bring it out.
Yeah.
It's I'm having the creative energy, but you're giving me the structure to talk into so that I have something to put the creative energy on. Just like the page you were talking about, the color drawing.
Right. And similarly, there's been times where I've been talking about a bunch of ideas, and Michele was like, "You've transmuted it into like some succinct description of like, well, this is what you want, Michael." And I'm like, wow, yes, thank you. I feel so much support in figuring out like what ideas and visions are coming through me and what they actually mean, like distilled down to their raw essence in English. And that's very valuable to me.
Yeah.
So
creating that space where both flow and complement each other and create an elevating spiral rather than a degenerating spiral, a regenerative rather than a degenerative.
Totally.
It's important. And I do want to point out here that you can have masculine and feminine energies conflicting as well and creating downward spirals when there have been wounded spaces. And I actually feel like that's an entirely different video around feminine wounding, masculine wounding, feminine, we call it divineness and masculine divineness.
Yeah, and certainly all of those expressions in our experience have showed up in each of us in our connection.
Yeah.
And just to keep it light for right now and focus on, I really appreciate how we both show up in masculine and feminine qualities in this connection. It feels very balancing to me that we can step into the role and the way of being in the alignment, the masculine and feminine, that is most supportive of the other in a given moment, or of ourselves too.
Yeah, and really being able to tap into those energies at any point in time to bring forward whatever harmonization is most beneficial in the moment for.
Totally.
It's really valuable to not like label one as wrong and the other one is right, or
for
label
our gender expressions.
Yeah, or label one as good or bad. Not even for gender expressions, but from the energy that you're just reaching into.
Totally, yeah.
And so I think there's so much more that we can cover in this topic. And again, we're just talking about masculine and feminine energies and how we define them and how we believe they harmonize to create so much benefit in the world around us.
Yeah. So I want to wrap up this video with an invitation. If these alignments and these definitions of masculine and feminine resonate to you, I want to invite you to ask yourself, how do you show up in the world in a masculine way? And how do you show up in the world in a feminine way? Perhaps a follow-up question is, how do you show up in the world in a neutral way? Yeah,
it's beautiful. So leave that down in the comment section down below.
That'd be cool.
And let us know how you're experiencing those questions. And of course, like, share, subscribe if this felt valuable to you and you want to talk more about masculine and feminine and all the topics that we're talking about here.
We would appreciate that. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much.
And also, if you want to contact us, you can contact us from any of our social media or email in the description section down below. And also look forward for events and any kind of paid content in that description section as well.
Totally. Cool. Yeah, appreciate your support, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm Michael.
And I'm Michele, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Mwah.